Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on a Sunday, my time. Again, there's like none of you who are in the chat who are actually my time, but here we are. It's time to hang out. I should start just calling this like episodes. I should probably start naming them because this is like time number 7, number 8 of doing this. So if you're here in real time, we have some people in the chat already hanging out, which is awesome. And if you're watching this after the fact, as always, thanks for being here, even if you made it a little bit late to the party. That's okay. So how's everyone's week going? My week has been chill. So chill, which is nice because it was Thanksgiving week. It's so nice to have my husband home. He's a teacher. And so he obviously got some time off, which is really nice. And with COVID-y stuff, we just had a very, very small, like immediate family dinner for Thanksgiving, which was also very nice. I think as I've mentioned, I'm not much of a holiday person, just not my jam. So I'm kind of cynical about holidays. And so honestly, it was like much nicer to just do it with little bits of family. We've got Nil in the chat. He was here, what was this, last night? Oh, no. I swear I saw something last night when I opened my computer. We've also got Bashali waiting eagerly. You were here ahead of time. You're very much on time. Nil, yeah, you were definitely waiting for that. Faisal says hello and hello right back. And then we've got Laura. Hello, Carrie. Hope you are well. Sending some regards from Lithuania. I don't think I've had a Lithuanian viewer pop in the chat yet, so that's pretty cool. How are things going in Lithuania? I don't know much of anything about that country, except didn't it used to be called Latvia and Lithuania? Or is that just how we were like taught it in school to remember that they're like next to each other? If that's questionable or conflicting history, then I apologize for bringing that up. I don't remember. July Fit, hiya, hello. And we've got Abdullah saying hello, hope you're doing great. I am. I'm going to continue sniffling because, oh my God, this little cold will just not go away. So I'm going to apologize for that right out of the gate. Yeah, being pregnant, like just I'm tired like 24/7, like, you know, when you're literally growing a human, like your immune system is a little bit compromised because, you know, human, that's the bigger picture. So this cold just is not quite doing it for me. I'm like manageable again. I was able to finish editing or recording my whole audiobook. I finally got my voice back enough for that. And I am at least not dead. You know, I'm like functioning, but the sniffles are still definitely holding on here. Yeah, Neil was here. I saw so many of those comments. That's awesome. Yusuf, what's up? Copywriter fun fact of the day. Hey, you changed your profile picture. Stressed spelled backwards is desserts. I feel like that is a very old meme of a wordplay thing. Like that's definitely on like those old lady plaques that they'd put in their kitchen that's like themed like a diner. That's like, I don't know what the actual pun is, but there's some pun about like if you're whatever. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Just hope that you are fine. And I love to see videos about your book. Yay! We gotta plug it. You guys, I'm so excited because I've been holding up the copy that had like that watermark on it because it was just like a Amazon proof copy or author copy or whatever it's called. But I finally got my 500 pre-order print order in. I literally have that whole closet just full of books right now. So there's no watermark on it. It is just as beautiful. It's going to be, look how pretty this is. I'm obsessed. I'm just so obsessed and I can't wait to share it. December 10th is coming up. So December 10th is the pre-order period for that. My mom's like, why don't you just do it now? And she might be right. Honestly, maybe my plan ahead strategy was a little too planny. But that's the way it goes. So December 10th, pre-orders are going to open. And as I mentioned, if you're here for freelancing content, just hold your horses for half a second. this is a dystopian sci-fi novel. So as I say, it has nothing to do with freelancing, but if you like me, you're going to like this book. And here's the pitch. In a futuristic, nope, that's not how you say that. In a futuristic utopia that guarantees mild contentment for every single person in the lifestyle of your choice, our protagonist still finds himself depressed and adrift. So kind of the concept of this future where whatever makes you happy, like that's what you need to do. You've got options, but when you look around and it feels like everyone else has it figured out, and for some reason you don't, that's kind of the rift. Oh, wait, I missed this. Nice little compliment. Thank you. Shaiz says, you are amazing. And Laura said, I always get that question about where my country is. Totally fine. I do not think I could put Lithuania on a map, but I do know roughly what part of Europe it's in at the very least. And Laura says, the cover looks amazing. Really happy for you. Thank you. Yeah, I am obsessed with this cover. I think it's so pretty. And it's like, it's just what I had in my brain, which is so nice because as a person who wants to do everything myself, which is part of the reason that I don't have sub copywriters, I don't like outsource any of my work. I don't have a virtual assistant to like answer messages or whatever, because I know the way I want things to be done. I have a very high standard of expectations. And so, yeah, in order to get this cover done, I could not do this. I'm an artsy person, but I am not this artsy, and I'm not a professional illustrator. So I had to get an illustrator to do it. And that was kind of a rough process because I have what's in here, and it's just so hard sometimes to find the partner who can like get it, you know, and is trustworthy and like credible with timelines. That was a process because, oh my God, literally it was, I think, 2 weeks late on the delivery after a whole month when I was like, oh yeah, a month is fine. That'll be good. So yeah, I get the challenge of hiring a freelancer as well if you don't quite get the right freelancer, for sure. Abdullah says, I was writing a blog on the topic of torque wrenches. Interesting. For a client when I got a notification of your live session, and now you're here and now you're not working. Oh no, that's not very good. Maybe you needed a break anyway. Like sometimes it's good to just take a break, and that way when it's done, you're like refreshed. You can get right back into it. You've had time in the back of your head to let some concepts stir, you know? Yeah. Yeah, Dion, welcome back. Looking forward to the audiobook. Yes, so I record. I don't know why this is book talk now, but it is. I recorded the whole thing, and now I'm editing the whole thing. And again, I could have outsourced this, but A, it feels like something I can do myself, and B, do I trust someone else to like get all the details right? Like I make some stupid mistakes that I caught most of them when I was recording, because like you hear yourself talk, you can tell if you say something wrong. But there are some times that I have said blatantly wrong things that I'm like, Carrie, what the hell? So I'm gonna have to like go back and re-record a couple sentences. And one of them, stupidly, was saying my character's name wrong. It was like in this pretty emotional like speech part, and I was like more interested in like voice acting. And yeah, completely butchered the pronunciation of his name. And I'm like, but at least I'm doing it myself. Like, do I really trust that someone else who's just like trying to whip through it and doesn't either know it as well as I do or care as much as I do, would they really notice that? So yeah, I'm like, I think I have 4 chapters left to edit today. So I'm really hoping I can finish editing it today. Literally hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. It's so time consuming, but it's gonna be worth it because I'm an audiobook listener. So I want my book to be available in audio, and I want it to be good. Hopefully it's good. So Yusuf says, George Orwell only could wishes he could write a dystopian novel as good as Carrie. Yeah, George Orwell is like the king of original classic dystopian, and he's not even like my favorite. My actual favorite, here's the real plug here. It's not a book, it's not super popular, but it's another one of those like classic sci-fis if you kind of dig around for it. It's called This Perfect Day by Ira Levin. And most people know Ira Levin because he wrote Rosemary's Baby, which I've never even read. I think it's like a famous horror that got turned into a movie or something. Anyway, This Perfect Day is like probably the closest to a true influence to my book. And there's some definitely questionable old school male writing. Like there's a rape scene that should just be cut from the entire book for every reason, always. But aside from the fact that there's like old cultural mistakes in the book is fantastic. Love that book. Again, with a little caveat there. And so, yeah, This Perfect Day, Ira Levin, that's my ultimate dystopian recommendation if you're looking for one. July says, what an accomplishment. Congrats, Carrie. A friend of mine just wrote a book and already has some great reviews on Amazon. Ooh, feel free to put their book name in the chat if you want to plug them. That would be fine. India Micro Plus says, hey, Carrie, and I say hello right back. Fasala says, do you use LinkedIn? And I say no. I should. It's one of those things that's like been on my to-do list for literally years of, yeah, I should actually finish my LinkedIn profile and I should actually like, put something on there. I should actually like write some, thought piece blogs or whatever the heck you're going to put on there. But no, I hate LinkedIn and I hate the like, I don't know, it feels like fake professional, because it's just marketing that's like disguised as not marketing, which is part of my problem just with like social media in general, especially if there's any kind of like business side to it. So I know that you should. I know it can work if that's like your jam and you want to put yourself in there. But oh my God, no. I did make one. I made another account. So I have my Carrieblogger one that's like completely empty. And I have another one that's for Carrie French Author on LinkedIn that I think I'm posting some stuff too, just like auto posting kind of content I'm putting on Instagram too. But I just can't. I can't do it. Yusuf asked, did you get any juicy Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals? I didn't because there's like nothing I want. I was even talking with my husband and he's like trying to convince me to get stuff just because it's like, I mean, there's not even that many like good sales or like good product releases right now, I feel like. But he was like, oh, you should get an Apple Watch because you should. And I was like, well, I'm pregnant right now. So I'm not even like running, distance. So I'm not running at all, to be honest. And so I'm not even wearing my watch anymore that I have. And my watch has some issues because it's pretty old now. But I was like, I don't even want that. And he's like, well, we could get, I don't know what else he said. There's some other tech thing. And I was like, we're not even going to use it. Like, yeah, we did go to Target and walk around. I got a puzzle. That's the one thing I got. It was like $15 off and it looks really fun. When am I going to get the time to put together a puzzle with all the book stuff that's in my head right now? I don't know, but it was very pretty. All right, we got the ultimate generic question, which is totally valid, from Bishali. She says, how to start on Fiverr as a beginner. So here's the generic reply. All right. Pick a niche that you are good at, actual sellable skills. You know what I'm going to do too? We're going to do this and we're going to do this. Okay. How do I find my videos easier? Oh, I'm just being silly. I know. Okay. So how to pick a niche. Actually, you know what I should do? No, you know what I should really do? Here we go. I'm thinking on the fly. So I'm just going to show you the videos you should watch. So I have this playlist and it's called what's it called? Yeah, I know I'm signed out. Chill. New Fiverr sellers, step-by-step advice from a Fiverr TRS. It has 50 videos in it, 50 free videos, you guys. I put out so much free content for you. And I pretty much sorted them kind of in order of like a logical order of, if you watch it as a true playlist, it should kind of cover stuff. So this video right here, let me make sure I can actually see what I'm doing. This one, sell your expertise and what gigs to offer as a freelancer. That would be a great place to start. You need to know what actual sellable skills you're working with. Then you need to, you know what? This is the real answer here. I'm sorry, but just watch this playlist. Like, that's such a cop-out answer. And it isn't Ask Me Anything, so I will continue answering, I guess, if I have to. But you have to pick something you're really good at, that you have sellable skills, that has tangible value for clients, that is easy to package in a digital space, and ideally has, some demand, right? It needs to have people looking for it. You've also got to pick a small enough niche, which is what I get covered in this top 5 mistakes to avoid as a beginner. Let's go back to this, then I can actually show you thumbnails. You've got to pick something that's not so broad that you can actually get some traction. So for example, like if you're trying to write website content, I have, if I do this, can you see it better? I have like 40,000 impressions for my website content gig at any given time. I mean, it fluctuates, but so if you're trying to compete with me against a gig that's in general saying, I will write website content, or you're saying, I will design a logo. Think about the top performing logo designers, and they're going to have 40,000, 100,000 impressions because they're just killing the game. They're doing incredible work. They have a great track record. The algorithm is going to support them. You're never going to get seen, right? So instead of doing, I will write website content for you, it might be, I will write real estate websites, or I will write, I don't know, FAQ pages specifically. And so that just gives you a smaller pool. It gives you more specific search traffic. That's like a good chance of getting back to, sorry, I'm reading comments and it's starting my brain. It gives you a better chance of them matching up with you for really what they're looking for. If you have a smaller search term, they're looking specifically for real estate FAQ pages, and you pop up, you are literally the right answer. That's going to give you a better click-through rate. It's going to give you better success in general. Okay. Mr. Creative, I'm sorry that you failed freelancing and you're thinking about going back to your 9-to-5 job. That might be a better answer. I talk about this in this video. Let's pop it back up. All of my things are so colorful now. This one right here, before you quit your job, the ugly side of freelancing. And I think the first thing that I bring up is there is absolutely no guarantee. There's a chance it's not going to work, especially if you're not doing it with like your whole heart, soul, professional, strategic know-how. And even more so, hard truth, if your skills do not match up with what you're trying to sell. And that's both like marketing wise skills of if you don't know how to pitch yourself, if you don't know how to create a credible persona, if you don't know how to create a strong visual branding scheme that's going to get attention, if you don't know how to fit within the platform and like play by the algorithm's rules a little bit, those skills matter too, kind of almost just as much in terms of your success as the actual skills that you're selling. So if you don't have those skills, maybe setting off by yourself and trying to do the freelancing isn't going to be a good fit for you. That's not to say you can't learn, and that's definitely not to say that you can't improve. But yeah, you need to be realistic about, this is your financial future and what you're doing for yourself, and you need to find a fit that fits you. If that's not you and you want the stability of a 9-to-5 job, then you should go back and do that. There's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5 job. I mean, I feel like sometimes it's like, you got to quit the rat race and whatever. It's like, true. You shouldn't be working in a job that's, unfit for you or doesn't value you or doesn't treat you well, because a job is a job and money is not the ultimate part of our lives. But where was I going with this? You're not failing at freelancing if you decide that it's not a good fit or that you're not getting out of it what you wanted, because ultimately the freelancing, flexibility of your time, uncapped income, ability to set your own focus and choose the services you're offering, all of those things are the perks. So if you're not experiencing the perks, then it's not worth it to you, is basically what I'm going to say. Okay. Dion says, thank you for your super chat. Always. You did this last week too. And I think this is like a couple times. So I really appreciate the generosity. What can we expect from Carrie after the book? I don't know. As I've mentioned, I am pregnant. We got a baby. So my baby is due a week after the book is officially released and published in January. And that's really scary to me. First time mom, did not grow up around kids, do not know how to do the baby thing. So Right now, I'm kind of keeping my future schedule and goals a little bit clear because I don't really know what my life is going to look like. I'm still planning on working. I'm not planning on like stopping work or not doing stuff. Like this is me. I'm not going to lose myself in that. But like, am I going to publish a sequel? Very strong chance. Am I going to publish a collection of short stories that go along with this universe? Very strong chance. Am I going to, finally make a freelancing book or a freelancing like in-depth course? Very strong chance. I don't know. I have some ideas, but I've got to kind of see where things look in the new year. And one thing that's really nice right now is as I keep mentioning just randomly in videos and stuff, for whatever reason, things tend to just like slow down and peak at a good time for me. I don't think I've ever really had to worry when things get slow, which is great. So like right now, the end of October and this month of November have been slow for me, like actual slow, which is lovely because I've got to work on other things. I've got to like focus on my book. I've got to spend more time with my husband. So I've really enjoyed that. So I feel like I'm kind of coasting to the end of the year, which is a good pace. And then that'll just kind of like naturally give me a little break when we come to January. And because my earnings have exceeded what I thought I could do this year or what I thought I was going to need to earn, I really can just like coast until the end of the year. And that's really nice. Balshay says, do you outsource your freelance work or hire remote interns? I would really love to work for you. No, as I mentioned earlier, everything I do is myself. Partially, to be honest, I don't trust other people. Partially, bigger reason I think is I don't want to manage other people. And the biggest reason is I love what I do. So there's like the things that I don't love about my job, which is sometimes like just the administrivia of just managing messages. Like that's such a small task and it really doesn't bother me that much. Sometimes it can feel like I'm just kind of stuck in like inquiry mode when I really like to get to work. But again, that doesn't take up enough of my time that like hiring a virtual assistant would be worth it. And it definitely doesn't make enough time that it would not create more problems for me. Like by answering those inquiries, I'm more aware of the client's needs and our history and our conversation, that if I hired someone to do that, I would still have to reread all those things. And I just have to I feel like it wouldn't save me any time in the long run and it wouldn't make my life any easier, but definitely not for outsourcing the work itself. I love what I do. I have a very specific writing style and I know the quality that I promise to clients. So I'm not going to outsource that and sell them Carrieblogger writing that isn't done by me. I just have a big issue with that. And if you're interested in a video kind of hearing my thoughts on the topic, I don't know where it is. This bad boy, this very clickbait thumbnail I came up with. They're lying to you, scaling or scamming problematic outsourcing in the freelance economy. Yeah, I have an issue with that for a lot of reasons. This one right here. So no, sorry. I would also theoretically love to work with you, but nah. Team Captain says, how was your weekend? Yeah, I was talking about Thanksgiving was really nice. Very small this year, which is good. Team Captain says, I'm fairly new in Fiverr. I got 5 orders so far, all from buyer requests. Hope I will get some through the gig. Cool. I'm glad buyer request is working for you. Let's put the video up. This one right here, the ultimate Fiverr tutorial. And then I broke it into 4 parts here. You gotta, if you're looking at how do you get them through your gig, which is the ultimate way to build sustainability and get traction moving forward. Are you getting enough impressions? Think about an impression rate needs to be at least more than 100 because a 2% click-through rate is considered great. So if you have less than 100, you're not even getting 2 people, on average. Again, if everything is going well with your click-through rate. And then are you getting clicks? If people are just skimming past you in the search, either you don't look credible, you don't visually stand out, it's not clear what you offer, there's a mistake, you don't look interesting, your price isn't appropriate, your title isn't interesting. All of those things I walk you through. And then if people click, which again, 2% is like great. Are they getting messages? What kinds of questions are they asking? What kinds of miscommunications are coming up? What things could be clearer? Or do they just land there and they don't even care to ask you for a message? They don't even care to, like, they see instantly it's just not a good fit. That means that there's something wrong with how you're promoting yourself in the initial search results and how you're promoting yourself in the description, pricing packages, that kind of stuff. And then the last deal is, are you getting orders? So walking through from impression to orders, that tutorial gives you everything you need to know. And I encourage you to check it out. Excuse me, let me mute myself for a sec. Gross. Okay. The internet has always been a source of inspiration for many of us, and so it has been for me. I dream to be an inspiring content writer like Ma'am, Carrie, and others. So it just sounds like right now, here's the harsh truth, your language skills are not primo yet. Like, I'm seeing just some things that I paused at when I was reading that I thought that didn't make sense, or grammar issues in there. So first, read a lot, write a lot, practice. You might be interested in taking a copywriting course. I have one if you're interested. It is at bit.ly/Carrieblogger course. But ultimately, you just need to have a stronger command of the language so that instead of just creating basic, trying to be correct writing, you actually have the tools and like competency to then stretch into creativity and strategy. And so that's what I talk about in this course, is how to get creative with a brand voice, for example. And if you're still just trying to not spell things wrong, or you're just trying to make sure that, is it a or is it an, like those kinds of basic grammar questions, where does the comma go in this sentence? If you're still struggling with those basic things, you don't have enough of that high level thinking to create the kind of creative content that's going to be higher quality, better for your clients, more likely to convert, and more likely to keep you like standing out and successful compared to everyone else who's just creating fluffy nonsense. And I think that that's one of the things about my writing that sets me apart, and why I don't outsource again, for example, is because I have a very clear writing style, and not in a template-y way, not in a copy paste way, but I think very creatively when I write, and I write unique content that matches the bigger picture, matches the brand, matches the bigger story that needs to be told. And that kind of stuff, to be honest, just requires a really, really strong command of the language and grammar, absolutely fundamentally down, so that you can get past all that technical stuff and start really thinking about what makes writing worth reading. I made a profile on Fiverr and waited. Then after 5 months, I started doing something with my profile, changing gig images and descriptions. Impression is 145. Any advice for copywriting? So again, language here is an issue. I don't think that your skills in writing are, just based on this message, you might be typing fast, are strong enough to promote yourself as a copywriter, because this is not well written, if I'm being honest here. Again, not to say that you can't improve, not to say that you can't work on your language skills, but read a lot, take English fundamental courses. I'm not saying you don't speak English. I'm not saying that your grammar isn't understandable, but as a writer, you need to have absolutely crystal clear, no errors, command of the language, so that you can get to that creative side, like I just said. So to be honest, hard truth here, probably think about a different service, probably think about something else that you can offer, maybe until, in a couple years, you've taken grammar courses, you've read extensively, you've worked on your language skills, your grammar is much stronger. And then maybe you can stretch into writing. But right now, I think that that doesn't seem like the ultimate good service fit. John, well, hello. Well, hello to you too. Well, hello. Is it okay to set your gig pricing higher than average as a new seller, says Team Captain? Let's pop up another video. Yes, in a short answer. So there's a couple videos I suggest you watch. The first over here is, they're just too colorful. I get distracted. Why most freelancers fail, top 5 mistakes. One of them is that everyone will tell you you have to do bare bones $5 pricing. You can't charge anything. You've got to just get the bottom of the barrel, scrape it in. But reason A that that's probably going to not work is everyone's doing that, right? If everyone who's watching a crappy tutorial about how to make $1 million, that's not going to work. Everyone's doing it. You're not going to stand out. Again, you're putting yourself in the biggest pool against the most competition. You have no differentiating option. Number 2, reason it's probably not a great idea is that in general, based on my experience, those $5 buyers are typically like the worst kind of buyers on the platform. You'll probably end up with, more problematic clients. You'll probably end up with more kind of scammy requests. You'll probably end up with more bad reviews that maybe weren't warranted. Literally just scaling from like $5 to $15, I think you're going to notice a different kind of client. And in general, it's probably going to be more of the person you want to work with. And then reason number 3 that probably doesn't work is unless you are absolutely new, and not just new to the platform, but and even then, you probably shouldn't be selling anything, to be honest. If your skills aren't vetted, if you are not super sure of yourself, if you don't have any experience, again, you shouldn't be selling yet. You should be practicing and building a portfolio and, preparing yourself so you actually have sellable skills to offer. But in that case, unless that's you, your services are probably worth more than $5. And it's creating a disconnect of you're promoting yourself. If you're doing everything I say, absolutely perfect. If you're promoting yourself with this fantastic professionalism, you're saying, these are the projects I've worked on. Here's my portfolio. This is my writing style. Here's my service guarantees. My packages are beautifully laid out. My pricing, well, we'll get to pricing. Everything makes sense. The services are what you're looking for. If you're saying all that and then you're charging $5 and people are like, why? Why? That doesn't make sense. This looks like it's worth so much more than $5. What's the deal? What's the red flag that I'm missing? I can't find this video, so we're going to look at it this way. This is the first one, how to set freelance prices. This is super old now. It's like 2 years old. Dang, I've been doing this for a while. This is my first Halloween video, hence the giraffe costume. But determine what's fair. Fair for you, fair for them. If you're scared to raise your gig prices once you get rolling, it's not scary. You should be raising your prices over time. And then why freelancers shouldn't offer discounts and bulk rates. It's just a personal preference, but that's stuff to think about. All right, we talked about that question for a while. Hi, if our buyers can't fill in the order details to start the order, will it affect our rating? And what if the buyers don't want to add details of the order? I have said to him many times he is not adding. No, the order doesn't start until they submit the information. So I have like 70, maybe that's an overstatement, at least 40. I think it's closer to 70 though. Orders in my queue that are active, not active, sorry. They're inactive, whatever. I have like 70 orders that people have placed over the years. Some stretching back like 7 years. I don't know. Fiverr's just holding on to their money in an escrow, waiting for them to do something with it. And they've never filled in the details. Often, same thing. I've messaged them. I've said, hey, reminder, check in. What do you need? Ready to start. And it doesn't matter. It's just sitting. It's just waiting. The only issue is a couple of times people have checked in like years later, like literally 7 years later, and then randomly filled in the information. And I'm like, I don't even offer this service anymore. This is from 7 years ago. And they just don't even say like, hey, sorry, I never got back to you. Do you still offer this or anything? They just literally pretend like that it hadn't been sitting for 7 years and there's no questions to be asked. There's no check-in to be made. And then in that case, I had to cancel the order, obviously. But it didn't affect the rating in that case because it's not my fault, and that's fine. Do you have a blog website, ma'am? I could study your method of writing and learn something new to apply in my blogs. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's just my portfolio. Carrieblogger.com. Don't copy me. Don't try to steal this as a kind of template. But yeah, these are the same portfolio samples that I have up for my clients. As I keep saying, I need to create more samples. They just take so much time and I'm too lazy. But yeah, a wide variety of my samples are up here. And then, as I mentioned, this bit.ly/Carrieblogger course, it's my copywriting course. I strongly recommend that you check it out. It's not super expensive. It's not very long. And I'm really proud of it. Like, obviously I wouldn't put something out that I don't think is really worthwhile and valuable to you. So if you can swing it, you should 1000% take that course. Is it a good idea to buy a review if I'm a Fiverr beginner? No, don't. No. For like ethical reasons, no. For the chance that your account's going to get flagged or banned, no. For the reason that you aren't putting an honest expectation out there for future clients, that could create more negative reviews down the road if they're seeing things that aren't accurate or true. No. Any tips if your gigs are getting impressions but no clicks? Yes, sir. I've got some suggestions. We're going back to this. Turn impressions into clicks with clickable Fiverr gigs. Yeah, that's what that's called. So that's the whole video. Like, it's 10 minutes long, so I'm not going to give you the whole 10-minute spiel here, but things like, is your title good? And good being, is there something in it that catches their attention, that speaks the language that your target buyer is speaking? Obviously no errors, right? Is it visually appealing? Look at the color schemes that other people are using around you in search results and choose colors that don't mimic exactly what they're doing. If everyone in your whole search category is basically overwhelmingly using blue, don't use blue, right? Like, why would you want to use the exact same color as everyone else? Because that's not where your eye is going to go. Pricing wise, that's a differentiator that they can see in the impression stage. Your profile picture, they can see that. You have 3 images set up so they can have the carousel. Again, that's visual in impressions. You have a video set up. That little icon is a differentiator. So every little thing that you can do to set yourself up from what they can see at the impression stage with search results, you can tweak and improve those so that, what the heck? So that you can get more clicks. Okay. I want to sell my Fiverr account with 3 5-star reviews. No. What the hell? No. Hi. Hello from Thailand. Wachansa. Hello. I saw your gig related about videos. I'm getting a fair amount of impressions, above 500, but not much clicks. Yeah. So all the things I just listed out, that's the place to start. Also, more self-promotion, because it's just me talking to myself. Where is it? This. One-on-one advising. I say this every week, you guys. Like, I can point you to that 10-minute video. I can point you to a list of stuff. And if you're looking at that and saying, like, in theory, I get it, but I don't know if my gig title is good. I don't know if my pricing matches. I don't know, what niche I should go into. Let's talk. I can't give you specific advice in a general sense like this, but if you consult with me one-on-one, then I can. I'll give you that personalized strategic advice. We'll talk about your specific situation. You'll get actual, tangible, step-by-step things I recommend you do. Yeah. I'll get to you, Cecilia, in a sec. I missed your comment. Can you do a copywriting playlist like you did for Fiverr? I have one. Yes, I do. Just check out my playlists and videos and stuff. Literally 2+ years of doing this, you guys. There's so much free content. And in general, almost all, I'll say all, I think all of the comments I've gotten in the past 3 weeks, I've answered in videos before. Not your fault because I have a lot of them. Feel free to ask and I'll point you in the right direction with a link. But this is called How to Become a Copywriter, Helpful Videos by Carrieblogger. There's 32 videos in here. Again, sort of like roughly positioned in order of logical process or whatever. But yes, I do have a playlist for copywriting stuff. And again, Carrieblogger course. I can't recommend that enough. Obviously, not just for me to make a little coin money, but more importantly, because it's really helpful, genuinely. You should check it out. All right. Cecilia, we got like a two-parter. Hi, Carrie. I love your videos so much. Writing from London, but I'm Swedish. Ooh. I do copywriting, social media posts, and voiceover spokesperson videos. I had the best week the week before last, and the last week, 2 small orders. Any reason this could be? I have only 5-star reviews and 1 less than 5, but I've been growing since August. And then you said, sorry, typing fast. Yeah. And anytime I feel bad, like saying, based on this comment, it looks like your language skills aren't good enough to be a writer. Because I know that, like, especially if you're just like typing on your phone, people make mistakes. So I'm never trying to say that, like, based on one message, I'm saying like, you can't be a writer. But I will say that many times when I read messages, I can tell that there are underlying language command issues that are worth, honestly mentioning. So again, we got a video to promote because we got lots of videos. In a nutshell, this is a ways back, so maybe it's just easier to do this. That's right here. So this on the thumbnail is a picture of a graph of, I think it was earnings. Yeah, earnings for me for one part of a year last year. You can see it's not stable, right? And that's fine. So just because you had one fantastic week, which is great, and the next week wasn't so strong, that's normal. There's like seasonal transitions. There's end of the month transitions. I typically notice that the second and like early third week of the month typically is the biggest peak for me. Not always, but typically. And then things tend to slow down at the end of the month and then pick back up. So there's a little bit of just monthly revenue stream kind of whatchamacallies, instability. And you don't have to worry on a small scale like that if you see a week of slightly lower orders, as long as your like impressions are overall good, as long as your click-through rate still feels pretty stable. Even those will change and go down or go up. But as much as possible, just don't stress yourself out. You have to step back and look at that bigger picture, which I know is really hard to do if you're still getting started. But just keep in mind that unless something has gone wrong, it's probably not gonna stick around being wrong. And like I said, November has been chill for me. Like this year I made a $25,000 month. Crazy. November, I think I'm at $8,000, right? Those are 2 very different months. I'm enjoying this time. I'm enjoying the chillness. I'm like using it to my advantage. I am not panicking about it because I know that some things are seasonal and some things, I don't know, it doesn't always have to be peak, 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 which again feels like a dumb thing for me to say at this point in my career. I know that if you're building things, you want it to be peak, peak, peak. I get it. I've been doing content writing and copywriting for 2 years now, but mostly I stayed restricted to Facebook groups. Now looking at your Fiverr videos, I'll surely try. I'm writing on Medium. Cool. Yeah, definitely. And just, see where you want to invest your time and your energy. And if that's worth it for you, then great. If you're already finding success in other places and you don't need to put in the time and effort to build a Fiverr profile and play the algorithm game and try to like get traction there, which can be really hard to get started, then don't, do what's working for you right now. But Fiverr, in my opinion, is a really lucrative option because it has a potential to just snowball and keep working on its own. Can we increase our pricing after becoming a level 1 seller? I would recommend not thinking about your pricing by level because honestly, they're just arbitrary. Like it doesn't matter as much as people make it out to be. It needs to be based on the value that you're delivering to your clients. So in all of these pricing videos, this one especially, Oh, that's not even right. I just read this book that was about fair value. It was like a fantasy book, and that was a big piece of it. So that's a big thing I talk about in this video is like, what is fair for you, your time, your expertise, what you're putting into it, and what is fair for the client. So if you are at a point where your skills have considerably increased, where the value that you're delivering to them has considerably increased, then it makes sense for you to up the price of that service. If the just level of, stability, peace of mind, confidence in the order that you're giving to them at this stage in your career, again, has increased, then that makes sense to charge for that. Another really good video to check out here. Is this soft skills video. And I have a little like checklist or quiz thing on it. I don't know what I call it. That's free at peachpay.me/Carrieblogger. This one, it's like a self-assessment. I guess that's what I called it. So you can go through this. You can kind of take a look at, again, free, peachpay.me. If you like the content and find value in it, consider small donation to my channel to support this content. I don't know why this is taking so long, but otherwise, free, enjoy it, have at it, make sense, make use of it. So, where do you fall on this scale with integrity? Are you a 1, 2, 3? Are you a 4, 5? With adaptability, where are you with that scale? Because all of those skills are really valuable to your clients, and that's what you can charge for. Not in a line item. You're not charging add $5 gig extra. I will be authentic and have integrity and not sell you copied content, right? That's not what you're doing, but it's all inherently linked into how you promote yourself and what people are getting out of your service. Yusef, I started Fiverr and set my rate at $3,000 an hour. I'm not getting any sales. I have no idea why. Oh yeah. To be honest, and not to be rude, just to be honest, sometimes when I read questions from people, and again, not to be rude, not calling anyone out in the chat today, no, but sometimes I read questions and I'm like, no, duh. Like some things just feel very intuitive to me. And it's like, no, duh. If you are trying to be a logo designer and you're stealing logos, or, you're using like a logo generator and you're charging $100 a logo for what's clearly not good work. It's clearly not creative. It's clearly not original. And all of your packages don't make sense. And your pricing's way off. And you have tons of mistakes in the description that just doesn't make any sense. It clearly looks like you didn't care or try, right? All of these things is like, no, duh, it's not going to work. Like, just, I don't know. Some people seem delusional to me, I guess would be the way to say it, about what they're putting out and just not having any strategy at all, or just like common sense, basically. So again, if you want to make sure that you're not one of those dummies who's not using strategy and common sense, let's consult one-on-one. Because I can tell you authentically and honestly, with heart, with compassion, if it's going to work or not. When I opened Fiverr, I always saw your image at the button of Fiverr dashboard. Did you purchase any share of Fiverr? No. It's because I do a good job. It's because I've been doing this for a long time and my track record is proven. Today, not to gloat, but just like it's an example. Yesterday, I did a blog for a client. It's high priced. It's more expensive than most. I'm definitely at the top of the price scale. And is it worth it? It was $435 for a blog, which you might think is a lot. Client loved the communication with me. They, we had a really open dialogue. I asked follow-up questions. They were thankful that I did so. It sparked some ideas from them. We had a good conversation. I delivered the blog early for them yesterday, 2 days early on a holiday weekend. They were thankful. Today, I woke up and had a $110 tip from them, right? Like that is proof that the quality that I'm delivering, impeccable. It matches the quality in my portfolios. It matches what I'm promising. It's written creatively, originally for them. It's not a copy paste mold. I did research for it. I brought, unique ideas in. And if they're willing to tip me $110 on a $400 order, that says something. And so that's why I'm being promoted by the platform and inherently being pushed toward success, toward clients, because other clients are being successful and they want it to continue. So that's why. It's not because I purchased something or because I'm like trying to back alley my way in. Zemoy says, if I post a gig in Jamaica, will I have less chance of making money? I don't think there's any proof of that. I think that realistically, there's probably some inherent bias depending on where your clients are coming from, and more importantly, depending on the services you're offering. That's an unfortunate truth, but it's not overcomable, and it can be overcome, I should say. And it shouldn't stop you. And it definitely shouldn't lead you to lie or, use a fake account profile trying to pretend like you're in a different country. Don't do that. Not only because it's disingenuous, it's inauthentic, it's lying, but also because it puts your account at risk. You just want to set yourself up for success, doing things the right way. Truthfully, just be who you are and tell clients why you're the right choice. Be vulnerable, be honest, be professional. Sophie says, hey, I just wanted to say I really appreciated your vulnerability in the latest Freelance Friday video. Just because people can make difficult situations work doesn't mean it's sustainable or healthy. Thank you. Yeah, Sophie, that, if you haven't seen it, I'll pop up the thumbnail. That was a little hard to do. I've come to terms with it now, this I had to quit video. And like I'm able to do the whole thing, and I can, replay myself and edit it and not feel like overwhelmed. It didn't used to be the case. I used to be really, you heard in the video, like I had a really hard time, and it used to be a little like PTSD-ish of even like talking about it. And I just tried to pretend like I didn't try to be a music teacher. I didn't have that whole weird side of my life. Like I said, it feels like a villain origin story or something now. Yeah. I'm really glad that it has resonated with a lot of people. I've gotten a lot of nice comments on there. And again, like that work-life balancing is just so important to me. And I think it's something that we all deserve. And it's really unfortunate that so many people are locked into situations, either financially, socially, culturally, that don't allow them to pursue what's really best for them. We'll get there. Dion, another super chat, but you know what you get when you do a super chat is you skip the line and I go straight to you. Hey, Carrie, how did you go about learning to record and edit your YouTube videos? It's really impressive you do everything yourself. Thank you. Like everything else in my life, I learned along the way. I came up with an idea. I took skills that I already had. Like I had done photography a little bit. That was, a mild passion for a while. So I knew how to work my camera, although I've gotten better at it over the years. Had zero editing experience, but with every video that I put up, I just come up with a creative concept of, wow, I think it'd be really cool it would be funny or whatever, cool to do like a rainbow going over my head. And then I'm like, okay, well, how do I do that? And then I teach myself that. And I'm like, well, that kind of looks dumb. It would be better if it like cut out around my head with a mask so that it didn't lay over me. Okay, well, then I learned how to do that. And then, could I do like a color tint? Let's learn how to do that. So everything that I do is just piece by piece. I have a creative concept that I know I want to achieve. And then it's just up to me and my like figure it out personality to learn then how to make it happen. So that is the truth of how I record and edit. Yeah, I really enjoy the progress, and I feel like my videos are getting a lot better. It takes a lot of time. So more than anything, it's like I need to make sure that it's still creatively fun for me. And that's part of the reason that like coming up with an idea and teaching myself how keeps it engaging, keeps it fun. Thank you for your second super chat. Super nice of you. Comedy Center. I'm gonna blast through these. We're almost out of time. I have a friend coming over for tea at 10 o'clock, so I need to get off. I'm a newbie. Can you please tell me where should I start blogging? What should I learn? And what will be other things should I learn? Just like before, I gotta be honest, which might sound a little mean. It doesn't sound like your English skills are at a level where you will be successful as a writer. Read, write a lot, practice a lot, take a course, but more importantly, English grammar courses might be even more important than like a blogging strategy course. Like that's where it needs to be first. Being the non-native, where through which platform can I excel my English grammar skills to be among the top writers? Please guide. I don't know, honestly. I'm sorry. I don't know, but look for grammar fundamental courses, language command courses, how to speak like a native speaker courses, all led by native speakers. I don't know. I was getting too many orders from Fiverr, so I just got a promote gig option when I just started to promote my gig now for 3 days. I have no orders. Can you tell me why? What's the reason? I hate the promote orders thing. I don't recommend you use it, to be honest. I don't know why you're not getting orders, but again, on a 3-day scale, I would not look at that and think that this is a long-term problem. This is not like necessarily proof that things are tanking. That might just be normal instability. 3 days is so micro that that's way too small to start looking and like making rash decisions about your entire account. Do you think your YouTube presence has helped you in your copywriting? It hasn't helped me in my copywriting skills, but it has helped me in my business. Yeah, in a roundabout way. This video, I don't know where it is. I don't remember what color it is. Doesn't matter. Oh, most often when I make these thumbnails, I can like remember what the color was. I thought it was like orange, but no, I don't remember. This one, purple. I'm wrong. How much money I make on YouTube over the course of 10 months when I did the math, counting like orders that people specifically said, I found you on YouTube or I decided to work with you because of YouTube. I saw this video and it proved to me that you are the right partner for me. I love your approach because of what you said in this YouTube video, that kind of stuff. Including that, YouTube helped me earn about $10,000 in 10 months. So yeah, in a roundabout way, it has really supported my business. But again, it's just working in with all the other things I'm doing really well as a support to that. It definitely wouldn't give me $10,000 as a newbie if I was just starting out. Gathry says, Hi. Wanted to ask you if you had any ideas how to politely refuse new buyers who keep messaging you despite having told them you weren't interested to work with them. Just keep saying, no thanks, good luck, maybe send a link to another seller or say, I suggest you search for this instead. You can also block them. It's not that big of a deal. If they're genuinely at the point of like spamming you, then block them. It's not that big of a deal. Again, you have a right to like control your inbox and just say like, no, we already talked about this. You're essentially wasting my time. And as politely as possible, be like, no. Yeah. As you suggested, reading as much as I can to improve my language skills, would you please recommend specific books? Again, no, I don't. No, but even just reading any book, again, written by a native speaker, thoroughly edited, professionally published, just to get a good sense of quality language writing skills. Because the more that you read, you'll see proper punctuation, you'll see proper spelling, you'll notice things that you are doing in your writing that are incorrect, that is not traditional English norms. Literally reading anything is helpful. And that's part of the reason I think that my language skills are so strong is because I was an avid reader when I was a kid. I loved to read. That was all I did. And I grew up just immersing myself in language, and I was a very advanced reader. And that has helped a lot. All right, we're coming down to the wire here. Vanshika says, left Fiverr for about 2 months and canceled 7 orders. My analytics are drowning and I'm basically non-existent on the platform, but now I need to start getting orders again. So that is hard because, to be fair, the impact of that mistake, for whatever reason that you had to leave and cancel at the last minute, and not follow through, not have the proactive planning to, exit gracefully, those choices have consequences. So that's the hard truth. I do recommend that you check out this video, bad review, now what? In this case, you didn't get a bad review, I'm assuming, but this will be helpful in a similar sense. Just, take out the word for like bad review to like bad exit strategy. And that will help you kind of reassess what to do next and how to kind of rebuild strategically. Okay, pre-material, last thing. Can you edit YouTube videos? No, I'm not paying people to do it because it's not earning me enough money to be worth paying for. And I enjoy it and I like it. Vanshika says, thank you. Yeah, definitely check out this video. And last question. Comedy Center says, I have an idea about writing and researching search for a specific niche and then write about it. 3 niches in morning and 3 niches in evening will take around 23 hours as a beginner. Will it help me? To be honest, I have no idea what you're asking. To be honest, given the state of this question, which again might not be a complete accurate picture of your writing quality, but looking at that question, it doesn't look like your writing skills are up to par to be selling. And number 3, because I don't know what you're asking, I can't provide an answer. So let's quickly wrap through my links. Here we go. Pre-order waitlist opening December 10th. If you join my list, you will not miss it. You get some like giveaway stuff. I'll push out to you. Little special extras, all that good stuff. This is Without Disruption, my dystopian sci-fi book, carriefrenchauthor.com. You'll love it. One-on-one advising. If you want strategic, personalized advice from me, not generalities, not universal suggestions, but real specific to you, check that out. We can advise. Carrieblogger consult, free resources. And you can donate to my channel to support this if you're interested in finding value in it. That's the biggest piece. If you find value and can apply it, think about giving just a little bit back to say thank you. That's at peachpay.me/carrieblogger. You can see what I do. My freelancing website is carrieblogger.com. And last but not least, we've got the bit.ly/carrieblogger course for my copywriting course, if you're interested in that. Again, not too expensive, not super long, and very worth it. Laura, saying goodbye. Thanks for today's stream. It was very nice to watch. Have a nice upcoming week, and you as well. Have a lovely week, everybody. Bye-bye.